Please, keep going. Another thing that hadn't changed. She called me on my shit. My anger deflated and I shook my head. It's not making me feel better. Then what will? Not fighting with her would make me feel better. Having her explain what had happened all those years ago would make me feel better. Hearing why she'd stayed away for so long would make me feel better. But I didn't tell her any of that. Instead, I crushed my mouth to hers and hugged her tight so she couldn't push me away. Not that she tried. Her arms wrapped around my waist and she fisted my shirt in her hands. I poured all of the pain and anger she had caused me into our kiss. She gave me all of her grief and heartache. Neither of us stopped until we were both exhausted from hot and angry sex. While she slept on my side, I stared at the ceiling, wishing tonight had gone a whole lot differently. I wished I weren't still drawn to her. I wished that she had come back for me, not Wes. I wished that I weren't such a damned fool, always waiting on the sidelines, ready to pick her up when he broke her heart. All tonight did was prove one thing. History really does repeat itself.
Chapter 1. Felicity. Fall. 2 years later.
Thanks.
Thanks? I asked. He said it like I'd just opened the door for him or let him cut in front of me at the bank.
Yeah, thanks. That was, nice.
Silas was buttoning up his shirt like he couldn't get out of here fast enough. Nice? How could he say that? It had been incredible. Phenomenal, even. It ranked in my top 5 best sexual experiences, even beating our hookup after Wes's funeral 2 years ago. Top 5 was not nice. And I knew that he'd enjoyed it. He couldn't fake that level of satisfaction to save his horse's life. I slid out of bed and pulled the sheet around my naked body. Moments ago, I had been enjoying some post-coital relaxation. Now I was getting angry. The last thing I wanted was for any man, especially this man, to think that I was an easy lay. Is that why he'd come over? Had he been expecting me to put out? I certainly hadn't planned on having sex with him tonight, but when I'd opened the door, one thing had led to another and, well, Silas Grant was hard to resist. That chiseled jaw, those brown eyes the color of warm maple syrup, a body perfectly sculpted from honest work. What had started as an awkward hug had soon turned electric, and neither one of us had been able to stop after that first kiss. Is that why you came over tonight? For something nice? Please say no.
No,
he said, buckling his belt. My shoulders sagged for the briefest second until he kept talking.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure why I came over, but it was a mistake.
A mistake? Every muscle in my face tightened.
Yeah, a mistake.
Then it's a good thing you're leaving. He shook his head.
There she is.
What does that mean? He sat on the bed and pulled on his brown cowboy boots.
Just surprised it took over an hour for that attitude of yours to finally show.
My lip curled. Get out. He stood from the bed and pulled on his baseball hat, trapping his dark blonde hair beneath. Just minutes ago, I'd been running my fingers through those silky strands. Now, I wanted to yank some of them out.
Welcome home, Felicity,
he clipped before walking out the door and slamming it behind him. I let the sheet fall from my body as I snagged a pillow from the floor. With all the force I could summon, I threw it at the closed door. My breath was coming in angry pants as I stomped to my suitcase and tugged on a sleep shirt and panties. That man! I pulled my long, honey-blonde hair into a ponytail. Silas could ignite my fiery spirit like no one else. In bed, it was amazing. Elsewhere, things could get dicey. We were either perfectly in sync or at each other's throats. I picked up the sheet off the floor and shook it out over the bed. Then I did the same with the white down comforter.